Cool, welcome back to our second part of our modeling section. Let's get to modeling some food, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. First thing we need to do is hide these collections. So let's go to our little eye icons and click on the eye and make it disappear. Let's click on eye and make it disappear. And let's press 1 on our numpad to bring us the front view. And let's add another collection, eh? So let's click over here on scene collection. It's important that you click there. If you don't, your collection will end up somewhere else. So click on that and then add a new collection by pressing this little icon right there. So let's click it. And let's name this collection by double clicking on it, and let's call it food. Manga nata itsutaki. Let's call it that. Food. Now with this collection selected, let's add a shape we haven't added before. So let's add a cylinder. So we do that by either going to the top over here. You can go add, mesh, and then choose one of these. But fastest way is hotkeys, bro. So let's go Shift A. Make sure you're on mesh, and let's scroll down to cylinder. And from this, we're going to create our drink. Yeah. So let's press scale because it's too big. Let's press scale and bring it down to around about that much. Yep. Now let's scale it up on the Z axis by pressing S and then Z. And let's bring that up. Yeah, about that tall. And then let's use it. Make sure you've got this move icon clicked so you can move it. Let's just move it up onto our red x-axis line. And zoom in a little bit by rolling my mouse wheel, and I'm panning across by holding Shift and pressing my middle mouse button down, just so I can see properly. And let's move that down a bit. And now let's go back to magic mode, edit mode by pressing tab. Let's press tab, and the mode that we are looking for is faces. So you can get to face mode by clicking on this little icon over there, or by pressing 3 on your keyboard. Let's rotate around the bottom by clicking the middle mouse button and holding it, and let's choose this face right there. And what I want to do is scale it in. So let's scale it in. Yeah, that makes it look like a bit of milkshake cup. I want to go back to front view by pressing 1 just to make sure my dimensions are all good. I might bring it in just a little bit more by pressing S. Scale. Yeah, that looks cool to me. Yeah, it does. Now that's done, let's rotate around our scene by pressing and holding our middle mouse button, and let's choose this face over here, and we want to duplicate it. So let's hold Shift and then D and then Z, because that'll move it up so we can see it. And there she blows, mate. And there it is. So now that we've done that, we want to create our lid top. So let's scale that up just a tad. Yeah, about that much. I'm going to go back to front view so I can see what I'm doing properly by pressing 1. That's front view. And I'm going to introduce a new keyboard shortcut. And this one is called Extrude. And we do that by pressing E. So what Extrude does, it enables us to add extra geometry. So I pretty much just created another cylinder. Now, let's go back to front view. I want to choose this whole thing and move it down so it looks like the lid is sitting on top of the milkshake cup. So we could either do it the slow way by, Shift and then clicking on each one of these and holding it. But the fastest way to do it is click on one thing and then press L. L for lion. Press L, and that selects, as you can see, the whole lot. So let's go back to front view. And make sure your little move icon is up in there, selected, and let's click and drag on the blue arrow, on the Z axis arrow, and let's pull it down so it looks like a lid. Yeah, see? Easy, eh? We want to create some more geometry and pull this a little bit up because, milkshake cup's got that, that bit that goes up. Yeah, not that part, but another part. So let's do that. Let's click on this top face and make sure you're in face select mode. Make sure that's clicked, that top face. And now we want to hit a new button called I, and that stands for inset. And what that does is this. So click I and then move your mouse and it creates new geometry. Look at that. Just like that. And what we want to do is move it up a bit. Move it up a little bit. Just like that. And let's do another inset. Let's press I. That stands for inset. And let's do it again. This time, let's do it about that much. And let's move that up. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's do it one more time. So I, and then move it in. But this time, I want you to press E and then extrude that last part up. So E, and then move it up like so. Cool, eh? I know, right? All right, looks all nice and stuff, but when we go to add a subsurface, it's going to create problems. So we don't want those problems to happen. Wait, I'll just go back to front view by pressing 1. Let's click on our top. Let's press L to select the whole lot, and then let's move it up. Let's move it up. So what we want to do is the same thing we did on our table and chair. We want to bevel this edge right there. And we can't do it. We can't do it by selecting everything because then it'll bevel every edge. So for this cylinder, let's go to face mode by pressing 3 on your keyboard while making sure this button is clicked. And make sure you're in face mode. Click the top of that. And then move down to the bottom by clicking and holding your middle mouse wheel. Hold shift and click on the bottom of that. And it will use the same keyboard shortcut, Control B, to bevel it. Peace. Just like that. Cool, eh? Now we need to do the same thing for this milkshake cup. So let's do that. So let's click on this face right there. And let's bevel that by hitting Control and B. And that just makes it nice, gives it a bit of roundness. And we want to do the same thing. Let me zoom in a little bit. We want to do the same thing with these edges. So we need to go to edge mode, edge select mode. So let's click on this little icon over there, or press 2 on your keyboard, and let's select them all. So yeah, same thing, you know. We could hold shift, click one edge, click one edge, and click one edge, but that'll take forever, man. So the fastest way to do that, to select what's called a loop, this is called a loop, is by holding Alt. So hold Alt and then left click on the edge, and that'll select that whole edge. So let's bevel that. Control B. And let's bevel that out. I'll give it some nice roundness. Like so. Just like so. I want to do the same thing for these edges. So hold Alt. And then hold Shift, Alt. So we can select both of them. And let's bevel them. Bevel those suckers. Control B is the shortcut. And we want to move our mouse, and that's just going to give us some nice roundness. Just like that. Now let's select our lid by pressing L and then moving it down. And just to make sure it's on top properly, let's go to front view by pressing 1. Let's move that up. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, eh? Let's go back over here. Yeah, see, it's all blocky now. Let's shade smooth it by clicking on it, right clicking on it, and selecting shade smooth. Now that doesn't look too bad, actually. Yeah, that looks fine like that. Now all we need to do is add our straw. So let me go back to front. Shift A will give us bring up our menu. Let's go down to cylinder. Where is it? Cylinder, because that's all a straw really is. Let's scale it right down until it's small, about the size of a straw. Let's scale it on the Z. This is one of those eco-friendly straws because it's fat. And let's just have it pop out the, yeah, let's just have it pop out the top. Like that. Okay. Alright. And there we have it. Our straw. Now again, we're going to run into problems if we don't name things. So let's name this straw. Straw. And let's name this cup. Cool, that's the next object in our scene. Go ahead and practice doing that. And I'll see you in the next lecture where we will be making French fries. So I'll see you then.